You got a fight coming up on Fight Lab 58 against Bryant Bullock. He's fighting out of highest stand. So I'm just, my thoughts about this fight come fairly easy. So I'm just going to shoot them at you. So what do you know about Bullock?
Well, I don't. I mean, we looked up his fights. We looked up the past 4 fights that he has, and they were the ones that weren't really that good. But we looked up more of his fights, the last 2 that he had. That he's on a 2 winning streak, I believe. Yeah. His striking has. It seems primarily he came in as a wrestler, but it seems he's polished up his striking a little bit. But he does seem to be more of the wrestler type guy. So it's definitely it's very interesting in my case, pretty much.
So I checked you out a little bit, and you may not realize this, but we've actually met.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Battle in the South.
Apologies if I don't remember.
Well, you caught up in the moment. I'll tell you why. It was at Battle in the South, and you fought Darnell Guyton.
Yes.
And you were with Chris, Connor, and Kearney. I think Joe was in your corner.
Yes.
So I was in the cage after you beat him, and I hugged you. So you may not realize that we actually met. I was working as the assistant coach for that team. They called me up and said, "Hey, we need some help. If you can come up." And when a coach has got 4 or 5 guys on the card and he's by himself, you got to have friends in the area. So I was heading down to watch the event anyway. So I said, "I'll help you out." And so I remember you fighting Darnell. I had trained with Darnell a little bit. Actually, one of my teammates, Ace Hill, had fought Bryant, and he trained with Darnell as well. So I thought we had a unique perspective on how this fight might go. It's a little weird. Considering your lack of experience compared to his. But
absolutely,
what I find unique is your level of activity. What caused you to be so busy in 2017?
Well, actually, I was supposed to start August of 2016 on a 2-week shortest fight for a 125 fight, and that killed me, and we're never doing that again ever. I looked like a skeleton, I swear to you. It was bad. It was really bad. And then I swear to you, like 2 days, or maybe like the day before, my coach Joe tells me he pulled out. Go get some meat. Ooh. I immediately went to Domino's and whatever I could find, man. And then I was told I was going to be put on a grappling match that night. Literally minutes. For some reason, Battle in the South makes you still take gloves on and stuff like that. I don't know why.
Right.
For a grappling match, honestly, it's weird to me. But literally, they couldn't find the guy. So that tells me a few things.
Yeah.
Either they're scared of me or something came up. But until I get an excuse, I guess they're just afraid of me. But I haven't even made my debut at that time.
Yeah. Excuse me. It could be the gym you come out of. Looking at some of your Facebook pictures and things of that nature, I noticed that you know quite a few people in the game, from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to MMA. I see you've got some connection with the Brunson guys. God knows Chris and Joe been around for a minute, so we've seen that phenomenon happen before at several shows. I'm not just gonna say Rich's show. We've seen that before, where guys will just go out between the physicals and not show back up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, how much do you think your previous athletic background? I saw that you did a little track and field stuff. How much do you think that's going to come into play?
I believe it will come into play. Like, my last 3 fights have not gone to the 3rd round, but at the same time, I've been able to use my athletic ability from track for my conditioning. My conditioning has always been there to help me out, and whatever happens, first round, 3rd round, whatever happens, I'm willing to go the distance, do whatever I can. My thing. You have to kill me. You're gonna have to kill me if you want me to go down and stuff. You know what I mean?
What got you into MMA? with that kind of passion, what got you into MMA?
Well, I actually wanted to be in the military. I was very much into the military at the time. But unfortunately, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this. I have high functioning autism.
Okay, I might be low functioning, but I have a subtle form of it. But I'm not gonna knock you for anything.
Of course, no, I don't expect anyone to, except for those
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But so all of my life I wanted to be in the military, serve my country and all that stuff, and that up until high school, where I was able to talk to a recruiter, and my mom always told me to tell them and hopefully they'll accept it. Unfortunately, the Marine recruiter didn't accept me and started recruiting other people other than me.
Right.
And then I went to this National Guard recruiter, who I will politely won't say names for right now, even though I would love to call this guy out. Believe me, I would love to. And I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be really nice. He was like, hey man, yeah, I can get you in the National Guard. All you have to do is just keep quiet about this whole autism thing, and then you'll be good. And kind of like don't say, don't tell kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like in that situation. But throughout my life in the public education, I haven't really been taught very much. So I had to go through the ASVAB and do all that stuff. And unfortunately, I didn't do as well. And that was probably the most terrible time of my life. So, and then like weeks later, he would say, oh, I'm going to try and get you to take the ASVAB again. I had never heard the guy in 2 years. I've heard the guy in 2 years. So I was like, you know what? I'm done with it. I'm done with this. Like, I'll always be a supporter. I would love to be. I'm always a supporter. And if they called me right now, I would do it.
You go.
And because it's just crazy, So I previously trained at Lion's Crest before, but that's when I was kind of young and I didn't really get into it that much. But and I always loved martial arts. My favorite fighter was George St. Pierre. He was more of an inspiration to me.
A good one to have.
Yeah, of course. And during 2015, it was July of 2015. I think it was like 2 weeks after Conor won the interim featherweight title. I'm a huge fan of him, and a lot of people will think I went into MMA because of him. That's not true at all. But I'm always a supporter.
Well, you kind of got that look a little bit, so.
I tried to,
So if St. Pierre's a good one to have, but what I'm seeing is your striking ability. Where did that come from? Where did you get that? You can't teach killer instinct. You can train it a little bit, but you can't really teach it. So where did you get that instinct to go forward the way you do? I noticed in all your fights that you have that tendency to stand in the pocket or either go forward.
That was always like, from my first one, my debut, it was pretty shitty. The striking was shitty. I will admit that. Is this the stupid it just didn't hit anything, obviously. But I've improved since then, obviously. But in terms of the staying in the pocket, if I can't take the guy down, I'll be willing to stand in the pocket. I mean,
yeah,
I'll do what I can.
I don't see you bouncing around too much like Muhammad Ali or anything like that. So
of course, yeah, well,
because I see that you fought on Next Level and Battle in the South. So how did this Fight Lab fight come about? Usually, just in past Fight Labs, you kind of work your way into a Fight Lab before you get a title fight. So this is going to be your first Fight Lab event.
Yes. One of the promoters got a hold of me after I posted, basically towards the end of the year of my first fight. And he said, hey, how would you like to fight in Fight Lab for a title? And, I'm a fighter. I don't really do negotiations. I take that to Joe, my manager and my head coach.
Right.
So I sent it to him, and he was able to get the whole thing set. And then he told me, I would say about a few hours later, that you're fighting in March 17th for the bantamweight title. And I was, at that moment we were ready to go. We're just ready for training and ready for all that stuff.
Good. So, are you on point with your weight at this current point in the training?
Oh, dude, 135 is my weight class. It's completely my weight class. I've been walking around it for probably 4 years plus when I was in high school. I've been 135 all the time. I'll be the heaviest I'll be is 140, but that's only if I'm not working out.
Gotcha.
But ever since I got the call, I've been staying on point and stuff like that. So we've been doing a lot.
So who are you technically with? Because you seem to know some of everybody. So are you an independent, or do you have a strict affiliation?
Oh, you mean like a gym?
Yeah.
Yes, I am with Lion's Crest MMA.
Okay.
I've always been there. I was there when I was a sophomore in high school, but I didn't really. It was mostly for jiu-jitsu, but I didn't really stick with it because of allegations with my my JRTC and my track and field in high school. So I kind of had to let it go until now, obviously.
I've actually seen. What was the video that I saw? You and a bunch of your guys. You had a mohawk, and you guys were in a bathroom doing some kind of skit. It was hilarious.
Yes. Got all about that.
I don't even know how I found it. I was looking for your name, and how do you say your last name?
It's Balogh. I was gonna point it to you, but I'm glad you kind of pointed it out.
Yeah, Balogh.
Balogh. It's okay. Everybody messes up.
Because I always go by what I hear. I think I heard the announcer say.
Of course.
And then I kind of realized, well, maybe the announcer didn't get it right.
Yeah. That's only happened one time, and that was that battle in the South.
But yeah. So watching that video, watching your fights, you seem to have a lot of personality, and I'm having been a veteran of cornering guys at Fight Lab. Let me tell you, you're gonna need that personality. You're gonna need all that energy because you're gonna be kind of in hostile territory, so to speak. So you're gonna need to bring that energy to win the crowd over, and it's very much possible. Those guys in Charlotte, what I love about that crowd is when they lock into a fighter, they love that fighter. They don't care where he's from.
Absolutely. I totally understand that. But unfortunately, I'm there for business, and I'm there for my belt. That's what I'm for. I respect the guy completely. I understand.
Right.
And I get it. But, business is business, and I'm there for the belt completely.
Nice. So before I let you go, what are any long-term plans and any shout-outs you want to give to anybody?
Obviously, I would like to give a shout out to Lion's Crest MMA. Mike and Sydney, the owners, Joe, my head coach. A lot of the Brunson guys. There's some good people. I'm great. Truly blessed with the support that I've gotten.
I've seen you on 2 occasions, but I don't think a lot of people know you. So I want to make sure they get to know you.
Absolutely, and I totally appreciate that 100%.
No problem, man. Look forward to your fight. Have a good one, my friend.
Thank you. You too, brother.
Later.